Hello, you gorgeous people. How are you today? Today I'm talking about two main things. I'm talking about what we can do to help the Great Awakening. A couple of things, okay? And then I'm going to talk about what we can do to help ourselves with our affirmations and why I have been doing wrong affirmations for years. And now I'm not. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So some time ago, archaeologists were opening the tombs of the pharaohs and things like that. And inside one tomb, they found seeds, corn seeds, wheat. And although they were thousands of years old, they planted the seeds and the seeds grew. And they actually were able to get a crop of Egyptian wheat. Incredible. All the seeds were waiting for was to be put into fertile ground. The ground had to be fertile, obviously. Inside of the tomb it wasn't, it was just stone. So that's what made the seeds grow. Okay. So I was talking to the emissaries about what's next, because they're kind of saying, oh, well, we don't want to talk about what's going on now. That's done. Now we've got to focus on what's the work ahead. And so they were talking about the Great Awakening and how we, as the awakened ones, can help those who are coming through, because they're going to come in a tremendous wave. And I know they've said this for a long time, but it's going to happen. They're going to come in a tremendous wave. So they suggested that we do two things. And this is for everybody. Anyone who feels that they need to speak out now, that it's time to speak out. And they were saying, just come at it from two angles. Start giving messages to those who are just waking up. And those messages are the very basic ones. That's the ones that highlight something wrong. There's something wrong with government. There's something wrong with medicine. There's something wrong with media. There's something wrong with religion. That the base, the true foundation of everything that we've been built on. That's what they say that we should put in our messages. Just basic stuff. And that is for those who have just awakened, the ones who don't know what the hell to do. And then they say the other messages that we should be giving are the messages for the people who've been awake now. They've gone through that process and that they want to know what's next, which is what's next is let's get ourselves ready. Let's get our vibration lifted so that we can light the way. They talked about it right at the beginning, being the lighthouse, giving off the light and showing people the way. We don't want people stuck in anger and upset and frustration. We want them to get through that quickly. Right? So that's how we show them. Look, not this. This is where you want to be. So that's the other kind of angle that we've got to come from. So when I was talking to them about that, I remembered the story about the seeds that were found, the wheat that was found. And the thought that I had was that we've been planting seeds for a long time. And I remember right at the beginning, I would say on these videos, look, it's not our job to wake people up. We can't wake people up. And I was convinced of that rigidly held belief. But that's kind of what the emissaries were saying. It's not your job. They didn't say you can't. They said it's not your job. Okay. But what I'm aware of is that our job was to sow the seeds. The problem was that the seeds were falling on a stony tomb. They were falling into stony hearts where there was no fertility, unfertile ground. But what's happening in this process of Great Awakening is that people's hearts are becoming fertile. People's hearts are opening. The seeds are already there. So as soon as people's hearts start to change, soften, whatever you want to say, the seeds will start to grow. All right, so don't think that the work that you've done over the last 3 years is of no consequence. It really is of consequence. We just didn't see we didn't see the fruit of our work instantly, right? So now we're going to see it. And, there's a lot more going on than just what we've been saying. So let that happen, and let's prepare the way. So for those who have channels, focus your messages, but do them double messages. Yeah, for people who are just waking up as well. But don't overload them with stuff. Just give them the basics. Point them in the direction. Why don't you look into this? Why don't you look into that? Yeah. And then for those who are awake, why don't you start working on this or working on that? Okay? So that's where we have to be, us, in the position that we're in. And then affirmations. So, and this is all part of this new wave of information that the emissaries are giving me, which is all about getting ourselves in balance. Because I thought I was balanced, to be honest. Bit of a disappointment that I wasn't balanced. I've been using affirmations for a long time, like, I don't know, 20 years when I discovered them. 20 years, maybe more, 25 years. I've been using affirmations very well, I've got to say. I've been using them very well. And I've been able to manifest in my life exactly what I wanted. But the emissary said that to do affirmations really well, what we have to do is adjust. And this is all coming from the place of helping the ego to heal. So what happens is this. Typically, this is the way that I taught people to do affirmations, and I do them. Which is, you decide on what it is that you want. And then regularly throughout each day, you focus on yourself having that thing. And you give thanks for having that thing. Yeah? And then a vortex is opened up in the universe, a vacuum that must be filled. Some people call it escrow. And it has to come because you've created this vacuum in this world. Okay? So that's the system. It works really well. But what the emissaries have told me is that it works really well, but it inflames the ego, or it upsets the ego. I'll tell you why. Tell you for why. So imagine you affirm health. Right? So imagine that you affirm having health. Thank you for the health. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for my wonderful body. Yeah? And then later on, you become ill. You hurt yourself. You have a pain. What happens? What happens then is this. That you have affirmed this is what you've ordered. And then you get something else. And what happens is the ego gets very upset. It gets upset with the universe for not giving it what you were supposed to have. And it gets upset with you for not having what you're supposed to have. And so what happens is when we only affirm the good, when we get the bad, we're disappointed, right? When we're disappointed in the universe and in ourselves, our vibration it goes to shit. To use a technical expression, goes to shit. Okay? So, what the emissaries have said, and it's a very tiny adjustment which I've started to do with my thanks, my gratitude moments, is when you are giving thanks for abundance, give thanks also for the abundance that leaves you. When you're giving thanks for your health, give thanks also for the dis-ease from which you learn. Right? This is the way I frame it. Thank you for the dis-ease that I have, that I learn from, that helps me to learn. And I know lots of people who are going through difficult times who are learning so much about themselves, about their body, about nutrition, all kinds of things. So when you give thanks for money coming in to, I thank you for the money that comes in. And this is what I say, thanks for the money that comes in from places I don't even know, that I don't even expect. And it really happens. Then, now all I'm doing is saying thank you for the money that leaves me. thank you for the flow, the beautiful flow of money. Okay? So, I give thanks for the people who are in my life. The beautiful people who are in my life. Now I also give thanks for the people who leave my life. I give thanks for the beautiful people, and I give thanks for the people who are here to teach me hard lessons. Okay? So it's kind of like, it's every, and this is what the emissaries keep showing me, every thing that we do, and this is a belief as well, you know, the beliefs that we work on, always have the flip side. You know, have the flip side. Thank you for, you know, the wonderful experiences that I have, and thank you for the terrible ones from which I learn. Okay? It isn't just saying thanks for the terrible ones as well, but transform it into because they come to teach, because they're teachers. Yeah? Every negative experience is a teacher, and then take it down a level. We've ordered these into our lives earlier, right? Imagine you go through your life just affirming all of the best things, but you've got this contract going on that you've got to learn these lessons. And if all you do is affirm all these wonderful things into your life, what about the lessons? So give space, allow space for these lessons to come in. They must come in. And if they don't come in this life, they're going to come in the next one. So get them. Let's have them done. I think I did that right at the front end of my life. Let's have them. Come on. Give me the lot. Yeah. But now, this is what I'm starting to do. What happens is this. So you get abundance, and then you lose some money. You lose something. And you think, thank you for that as well. What have I got to learn from that? There is no inner conflict then. Right? There's no pulling, no toing and froing, because you have asked for that. You have taken responsibility. You have created that. Does that make sense? So it becomes much easier to accept the ups and downs of life. What the emissaries were saying was that we're living 3D. Right? 3D is this. It's this. This is what you see on the monitor when they've got the monitors on your heart and your life force. This is bad. This is good. So we must, if we accept the ups, we must accept the downs. If we love the ups, we must love the downs equally. For different reasons and in different ways. But that's what we have to start doing, is allowing space now for us to be whole. The whole point of this, for us to go forward, is for us to be whole, to accept the pieces that we've rejected. We can't just want good. That's not what we're here for. We must allow space for the negative to come in, just as we allow space for our own negative, and we give ourselves space, because we're not perfect. We have dark sides, and so it's the same with the universe and the same with nature. Remember, nature is very beautiful and very cruel. Everything is about this balance that we must allow, we must accept, and it's that the ego doesn't want you to accept that. It wants you to deny all of that and say that that's not fair and that's not right and that's not how it should be. How it should be is how it is. And we just have to accept how it is. The affirmations still work. You're still going to bring abundance into your life. You're still going to bring beautiful things in. But when the dodgy stuff happens, you're going to be okay with it. You're going to be centered. You're going to be fine. And you're going to be looking for the lessons in that. Just a subtle change, but I think it's important, and this is what we've got to start doing now, so I'm told. Okay, I hope that's helpful. I love you all, and I'll see you all next week. Take care.